Hello, welcome to a video that's going to demonstrate the access controls in the Covey Roleplay Control System. I'm going to be demonstrating using doors and teleports, but it does apply in the same way to all items in the Covey Roleplay Control System. So if I spin round first to look at the door and the teleport, I have got one door and one teleport and one server out. The server has two different groups set to it. One is Diamonds of Fire and the other is the Covey group. I want to make sure initially that the access on the door is set to everybody. As you might expect, I can walk up and because it's set to anybody, I can just open and close this door. Now, if I change this to group access, access groups, I'm not in, I'm in the groups, but I don't have them active. And if I now click on the door, it will refuse access. I've also put in an extra script in here, which is the display access lists on reset. This is just so I can actually visually show you this happening. If I change my group to the Covey Stores group, and it would work exactly the same if I set it to the second group, I can now open and close this door. However, if I come to access and I set it to list access, even though I'm in the group, it won't give me that access. If I set it to access groups plus list, I will once again have access to the door. Okay, so let's change the group back to nothing. Groups, that'll do. Right. And I'm now going to set this to list access only. Or groups plus list, and I still won't have access. So I'm going to add myself as a user. So I need to go to my profile first, grab my UUID, come to the server, access, user access, add user, add the key, and now, because she has list access, she can use this door. Similarly, even though it's the wrong group, if I change this to list and groups, she can still access the door. And that same principle works for all the access options, because remember, you've got the ban list, the user access, and the admin access. Now, this avatar owns this item, so she has admin access by default. But I can give admin access to somebody else. First, just let me do an object reset scripts. So what I want to show you is currently I have this user here, which is just a check user. You can ignore that. It's just something used by the script to tell it that somebody has been added to this list. Then we have the admin that I've just added. And I do apologise, for some reason when I did the copy it didn't work. I still had the key for Arwen set is if I go to Owen's profile, that's her key. I obviously still had it on my clipboard because if I open this again, we can see that this is the admin I did previously, and there's my user key that you can see I added as a user. So I'm going to add Owen as an admin now. Oh, no, that needs to be done on the server. Access, add admin. Submit that. And if I bring Owen in, this avatar now has access to the admin menu. Whereas if I remove Owen, and again, if I reset the door, we'll see this in local chat. So now if I come down here, access, and I can either use clear admins, which removes all admins, or I can remove individually. I'm just going to click clear admins. If I do another reset here, you'll be able to see that Owen is no longer in the admin list. And if I bring Owen back, she no longer has access to the admin menu. So that's the basis of using the access controls. The only difference comes in with the teleports and the rules enforcement. So we're going to look at that now, because neither of these avatars have got any rules agreement been made. So I'm just going to throw in a couple of items just to act as rules. That's just so it's got something to deliver, and I've put that in the wrong place because that should have gone into the server. There we go. Okay, so again, if we look up here, we can see that there's no one in this rules list right now. I'm going to add a prim just to set a teleport destination. You don't need a prim, you can type it manually. All I'm doing is getting the vector. So TP options, set position. That just means when I use this here, the teleport missions are going to be set. Now, I'm also going to turn on rules enforcement. Rules enforcement, rules on. Now I'm going to walk through the teleport. You will see it delivers a copy of the rules and also a pop-up asking you to accept the rules. I've accepted them, so the teleport will go through. Now I'm going to bring Owen back, who is also not on that list. Take Owen through. I'm just going to discard it. I'm going to click decline because I'm not interested. And it gives you a message saying you must accept the rules to teleport. And the same will happen if she tries to go back through. So this time, if I accept the rules, the teleport actually happens. Just move that screen out of the way again. So that's the teleport control system with the rules enforcement. And if at some point you update your sim rules, all you need to do is come in here, go to access, rules access, clear the rules, and then all those people on that list are removed, and they will have to agree to your updated rules before they can use the teleport. There is just one more little thing I want to demonstrate. This server is currently set to server number 10. And I have noted in the documentation that everything goes to a default server of 0. If you are working with multiple groups on a sim, it's a good idea to have every server set to something other than 0, because watch what happens now if I put out a door. So here's my door. I'm going to drop in the script, just showing the display access list. This is automatically connected to server number 0, and we have a huge list of people in the access list and the rules list and various others. And even if I now change this to server number 10, they are still there and it doesn't automatically clear. However, if at this point I now reset these scripts, object, reset scripts, and on my server number 10, I can just clear this list, access, rules access, clear rules, access, user access, clear users, access, admin, clear admins, access, ban, clear bans. Now I'm just going to put a row of equals so we can see the difference. And if I reset the scripts again now, there's nobody there. So if you do just have a server out by mistake, or because you've set one to 0, then you want to add more and you come across this problem, that's your workaround. But you can also just delete items one by one. So the best practice, if you're going to have multiple servers out, is not to have any servers set to server 0. Set them all to any number other than 0, and then when it first reses and tries to connect to a server, nothing comes back and it would stay empty.